Let's just dive right into this. I want you to picture a warm, rich, deeply chocolatey cake sitting right in front of you. The aroma is absolutely incredible. It's dense, it's fudgy, and it looks like the ultimate indulgence. But what if I told you that this exact mouth-watering treat contains absolutely zero added sugar and zero gluten? No way, right? Sounds like a trick. Well, today in this explainer, we're looking at the hard nutritional facts behind a brilliant recipe from Healthy Desserts by Magda that promises exactly that. We're not just making a cake today, we're breaking down the science of how everyday, wholesome ingredients can literally transform into an indulgent, totally guilt-free masterpiece. Which brings us to a pretty big question. Can an amazing chocolate dessert actually be truly guilt-free? I mean, usually when we hear the word dessert, we instantly think of that inevitable sugar crash, right? Or that heavy, sluggish feeling right after. But what if your dessert actually worked for your body instead of against it? Imagine if every single bite was packed with vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants. By treating this explainer not just as a standard recipe tutorial, but as a real scientific breakdown of our food, we're going to answer that question with a massive yes. Let's look at exactly how this all works. Section 1. Nutritional powerhouse ingredients, deconstructing the superfoods. So before we even think about mixing anything together in a bowl, we really need to understand the raw materials we're working with here. The entire secret to a dessert that doesn't rely on refined sugar or gluten lies in the specific health benefits of its core ingredients. First up in our superstar lineup, bananas. We're using 2 ripe bananas for this recipe, which comes out to about 200 grams if you're weighing it without the peel. But look at what those 2 bananas are actually bringing to the table. They're an incredible source of potassium that's absolutely crucial for helping regulate your blood pressure. On top of that, they're packed with fiber to promote healthy digestion, and they're just loaded with vitamins C and B6. I mean, think about that the next time you reach for a bag of white sugar. Why not use a whole food that actively boosts your immunity and energy while giving you that perfect natural sweetness? Next up, we are completely ditching traditional refined wheat flour and replacing it with oats. Now, what's truly fascinating about oats is how their complex carbohydrates actually function inside your body. Unlike simple carbs, the ones that cause your glucose to just spike right up, the complex carbs found in oats provide sustained, long-lasting energy. They genuinely help stabilize your blood sugar levels. Add in the fact that they're a fantastic source of fiber, which regulates digestion and keeps you feeling full for much longer. So instead of eating a piece of cake and feeling hungry an hour later, this dessert actually satiates you. It's a real game changer. And this brings us to our final core superpower, flavonoids. Now these are powerful plant-based antioxidants. In our recipe, we're using 30 grams of cocoa and 100 grams of dark chocolate, both of which are absolutely packed with these compounds. So what does that actually mean for you? Well, it means the chocolate you're eating has antioxidant properties that actively promote heart health. Not only that, but these flavonoids may actually have a positive effect on your mood and even support your cognitive function. You are literally eating a dessert that is good for your brain and your heart. I mean, how amazing is that? Moving on to section 2, mixing the healthy batter, step-by-step assembly. All right, we've deconstructed the superfoods and looked at the incredible science behind them. Now it's time to shift gears and bring all those nutritional powerhouses together. Hey, this is actually the perfect moment to take a quick screenshot of these exact ratios for your kitchen. Getting the chemistry right is absolutely crucial when we aren't relying on gluten or sugar to hold things together. Okay, so we've got 120 grams, which is about 1¼ cups of oat flakes. We pair that with a cup of hot milk. Then we have our 2 ripe bananas and 2 eggs for binding and protein. Finally, we add 30 grams of that flavonoid-rich cocoa, a teaspoon of baking powder to give it some lift, and just a pinch of salt to balance out all those rich flavors. Now for the actual assembly, which I promise you is incredibly straightforward. Step 1 is definitely the most important for the final texture. You've got to pour that 250 milliliters of hot milk directly over the 120 grams of oat flakes and just let it sit. Leave it alone for 10 full minutes. This allows the oats to soften and really absorb the liquid, creating a beautiful base. And honestly, while you wait those 10 minutes, your kitchen is already going to start smelling amazing. Step 2, once that's rested, you mix in your 2 mashed bananas, the 2 eggs, and that pinch of salt. Finally, step 3, you add your 30 grams of cocoa and 5 grams of baking powder, and you mix the whole shebang together really well. Just like that, you've got a nutrient-dense cake batter. Section 3. Baking and chocolate glaze, the finishing touches. Okay, the hard work is officially done. We finally have a bowl full of complex carbohydrates, potassium, fiber, and antioxidants that's ready to become an incredible dessert. Let's talk baking parameters. You're going to want to grab a 22 by 16 centimeter pan. That's roughly 9 by 6 inches for folks using imperial measurements. Go ahead and grease that pan with a little bit of butter just to make sure our cake comes out nice and smooth. Now pour in your batter. Before it actually goes into the oven, you do have the option to decorate the top with some nuts for extra texture and a hit of healthy fats. Totally optional, but highly recommended. Then pop it straight into an oven preheated to 180 degrees Celsius or 360 degrees Fahrenheit. You're going to bake this for 35 to 40 minutes, and honestly, the anticipation is going to be the hardest part. So, while the cake is baking, let's lip up a quick glaze. We're keeping things incredibly simple and incredibly healthy here with just 2 ingredients: dark chocolate and hot plant milk. That's it. You need 100 grams, which is about 3.5 ounces of dark chocolate, and just 50 milliliters of hot plant milk. And remember what we learned just a few minutes ago? This dark chocolate is bringing a massive secondary wave of those heart-healthy, mood-boosting flavonoids and antioxidants right to our dessert. Putting this glaze together is as easy as it gets. Step 1, simply combine that 100 grams of dark chocolate with the 50 milliliters of hot plant milk. Step 2, just mix it well. You just keep stirring until the heat from the milk completely melts the chocolate, forming this beautifully smooth, incredibly rich glaze. Finally, step 3. Once your cake is baked and out of the oven, you spread this gorgeous glaze evenly right over the top. This locks in that intense, antioxidant-rich chocolate flavor. Which brings us to section 4. Ready for dessert? Indulgence meets nutrition. We've gone from looking at raw oats and bananas to a fully realized, deeply chocolatey cake topped with a rich dark chocolate glaze. You've seen exactly how leaving out refined sugar and gluten isn't a limitation at all. It's actually a huge opportunity to use ingredients that actively benefit your heart, your digestion, and your cognitive function. You've essentially just baked a superfood supplement that tastes exactly like a 5-star dessert. Which brings us to our final thought. With ingredients this healthy, what's stopping you from having dessert tonight? You now have the ultimate solution to your sweet cravings. A recipe that stabilizes your blood sugar, regulates your blood pressure, and keeps you full, all while completely satisfying that deep desire for chocolate. So grab those oats, mash those bananas, and go treat yourself to a dessert that truly loves your body back. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and happy baking.